Hello everybody, it's time to do another response, but not the vinyl tag this time, so you can breathe out. Not a third one. This is a response to Mazzy, aka Norman Maslov, who on his channel has normally a thing called whack-a-mole, which is a very interesting expression for a regular random pick. And he wants now, after 50 whack-a-mole videos, us to do a whack-a-mole. So I thought it's an interesting subject. I think I have done a random pick before on this channel in another contest that someone had, don't remember which one. But I feel like it's something I should be doing often, because it's very interesting. You never know what's going to come out actually. My record collection is sorted in genres, and I have pretty good hunch of where every genre is, so I hope it's okay that I have a little hunch of which genre that will come out. This is just a part of what I have. I'm looking now at a shelf just 2 steps away with another part of my collection, and I might move my chair to there and pick from there also to have a variety. So let's whack some moles. This is interesting. You can see I'm not looking. Closing my eyes for a sake. See what I picked there. And we got, drum roll, Lynn Turner and the album Rescue You. This is normally not what I collect the most. I bought this one at a garden flea market a year ago, a little bit outside Sundsvall, and it was more or less a blind buy, because I heard of Lynn Turner, but I never been thinking of his music. I never listened to anything of what he done. I realized it was some kind of rock and roll, and it was actually really good, because it was 80s, little more power rock style, little 80s rock and roll, heavy metal style. I actually thought this was pretty good actually, so I have kept this one. So let's pick from here. Let's see. This one looks interesting. I got 2 records in my make one. Benny Goodman, the famous Cagan Hall jazz concert. This is bought, if I'm not wrong, it is bought at a sellout that the Swedish radio had been giving away or selling most of their records to a person, and that person have taken what he wants and then given it to the place called Erikshjälpen, and I bought it among a sellout that they had of records that it was such a huge record deal that they got. So I think I bought it in that sellout. What I can say about this is that, like I said many times before, that this is actually a very important concert to many of us jazz lovers, because it was the first time that the traditional jazz music was welcomed into the finer places. A fine place like Cagney Hall, who normally was famous for giant classical concerts or something like that. Now Cagney Hall had been decided that they wanted Benny Goodman, and this was a chance for a wider audience to see jazz. And they were very nervous, the entire band, and not until Gene Krupa was sitting behind his drums and realizing, hey, we're horrible, and he did an enormous drum solo just to waken up the other musicians, and then they realized, hey, let's get some groove now, so we don't make a fool out of ourselves. And it became one of the most famous jazz concerts in jazz history. All right, once again from this. Let's take from this side this time, maybe. There. See what I got? New music, anywhere. New music, classic 80s band. This is bought at Atlas Skivbörs in Stockholm in 2014, I think. I was there with a friend. It was the first Stockholm trip I made when I have been in a vinyl community, but I didn't have any camera to film with at the time, so I couldn't show anything other than a few pictures. But it is a really great album. Amazing new wave synth pop style. There's a song here called Luxury. This is your life in luxury, that I think is so amazing great. I discovered this band and the songs of this album in a Swedish radio show called Eldorado. That is in Sweden a very classic radio show, or was, because the host is unfortunately no longer among us, Challange. But it's fantastic, a really one of the best new wave albums that I actually have. See where to pick. We take another one from here. Before we move the chair. Tears for Fears, The Seeds of Love. I think this one is just a normal finding at Finnlagret. That's thrift store that we had back then, that was one of the biggest. And what I can say, that I remember when sowing The Seeds of Love, the Tears for Fears gigantic hit from this album, it was released. I thought it was so amazing, a fantastic album. And then a friend of the family that I visited had this album in his collection, and I made a cassette copy of it. This was back in late 89, maybe 90 I think. I thought it was amazing from the beginning, and of course I listened to it over and over again many times. Besides the Sowing the Seeds of Love, you have amazing songs here like the other singers, Woman in Chains and Advice for the Young at Heart. But you also have a fantastic song called Year of the Knife, Standing on the Corner of the Third World, a real fantastic classic Tears for Fears album that I really love. So let's move that ahead. Here I am now, and another shelf that I felt like I also wanted to pick from. I mean, I have my records little all over the place, so it would be wrong not to have from other shelves as well. So let's La 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 la. Let it begin. This one. Pretty ordinary record. Eagles, their greatest hits. What is there to say? Really relaxing, amazing record. I guess one of the world's most best-selling albums ever. What I really, I'm really of course missing a couple of songs that I guess had been released yet, of course. But Take It Easy, fantastic song. So I feel like it was a must-have in every. If I want to start collecting Eagles, to have this one. It would be wrong not to have this one, as it is so much so famous. So nothing more to say about that. So I have whacked a mole. 5 records. I hope, Mazzy, that there will be a whole lot more whack a mole videos from you, and that you have enjoyed this response. I hope that you and everybody else have a really nice time, no matter where you are, no matter what you do. Take care, everybody, and so long.